right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think it's platinum, man. Don't wipe these feet when they enter the lab. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe because I'm focused. No hands down for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught two shots. Another piece of the puzzle connected dots. You can find the truth of that and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If you don't walk there like a model for me, like I can see her intentions all in my scope. At a time we were just friends, with it right to hand. That's the show, dead broke. Both said I know, don't take my words. Just back, issue that raw dough. Just back, issue that raw dough. Back, issue that raw dough. To the people that listen to my revolt, they know that I do care. With their hands in the air, rocking side to side. I'm all work, yeah, time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the bag, label to change up his swag. I do it for us, I'm full flag. Don't rock it the sheet, yeah. Wouldn't be so all the type of African shit. Just rock it, take my face, swag it to the man. Polo colors and black kings. Just polo colors and black kings. Exclusive shit, not get with it. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with a shot. Bang.
And I'm gonna represent my people. And I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, let the blind lead the blind, they're all falling sick.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. He act like I only act right for rent. Been living in purgatory, brown nose of the heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid the reverend. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, back in the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't put me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange food, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, we treat you like a fellow. LARs, we the stars, turn a rapper to a pocket. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm leaving sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just superior. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy beating the mean as bad as Bobo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about Elon Musk and all of his Twitter antics that have been going on. So I want to break something down for you all because this is a lesson that applies to everybody that's in the corporate world and the workforce. And it's going to explain a great deal about how things work in a corporate structure. So without further ado, we're going to break a couple things down here from this brother named Oliver Campbell. Now, I'm telling y'all, man, the way he broke this down, I mean, he got this detailed down to a science because this is exactly what has been going on over at the Twitter, on the Twitterverse, you know, and Twitter headquarters with their firing and getting rid of a lot of people. But here's the reason why. So let's go ahead and break this down. All right. I'm going to explain what Elon Musk is likely doing over at Twitter. This is not a discussion on whether he's right or wrong. It's just what's happening. If I'm wrong, I'm sure he'll pop up and say so. What Elon is engaged in is something called whaling and culling. Now, I want you all to remember that phrase because it's going to be very important here as we break the rest of this down. Okay, so first, the whaling is a common refrain that you've probably heard at some point or another. 10% of people do 90% of the work. That's what the tight 2-week deadline for Twitter Blue was for. He was perfectly aware that it was an unrealistic time frame and it was a test. All right, now I want y'all to pay close attention to everything that you're about to read here, about to see here. By pushing for such an extreme tight deadline, Elon got to see who is actually doing work and who is resting on their laurels. Furthermore, it proved who could actually perform under extreme pressure. You know, the whole get this done or you're fired level of pressure. Okay, so now y'all with me so far. Check this out. Hence, Elon was looking for the whales at the company, the heavy hitting, actually producing and hard people who have been there for a while. When the whales don't have to carry dead weight, they perform like the equivalent of 10 people. Okay, so as you see, so far, this is all about efficiency. This has been done many times on many jobs. Second is the culling. When you've got 90% of the people not performing, they're actually negatively impacting the 10% who are performing above and beyond. And that's why the layoffs happen. Paraphrase, shit is going to change around here. Get on board or get out. Again, this isn't saying right, wrong, good or bad. This is just explaining what happened. A lot of y'all see this at y'all workplaces and probably wonder why, but we're going to break it on down. So by culling unproductive staff, he actually untied the hands of the productive staff, fewer obstacles to getting in the way of getting things done. It also revealed to him who was there to make Twitter a better product versus who was there to be activists. All right. So as y'all see here, this brother's right on the money so far. He's leaving no stone unturned with breaking this down. So he goes on to say, so now you've chopped your workforce down to people who actually perform, but they're not enough to run everything. This is why after all those people are let go, there's going to be a bunch of surprise hiring of a new bunch of people. Now, why is that? About to answer that question. Because the productive people actually know what they need to get things done. Don't be surprised if the people that are left get to be part of the interviewing process for the new people. They'll be looking for efficiency and people who don't make their jobs more difficult. Okay, so now it's cold-blooded, but he's breaking this down from a corporate mindset here. So when you continually slice away the bad portions of something, all that you're left with is one of two potential outcomes. Nothing usable, it was rotten at the core, or number two, some substantially good bits you can salvage and build on. Elon is gambling on number two. I strongly believe that's exactly what's going on. I mean, just listen. This is what he was talking about with Twitter 2.0. It's likely not a new Twitter, not for us, okay, the consumer, that is. It's a new Twitter internally, meaning at the company. How things get done, how things get rolled out, rebuilding the company with productive and more efficient people. So as you see, he's laying this out. He's laying it out. What I'm saying is, take a look at the reactions. People that are staying at Twitter are hunkering down and working. The people he let go are the ones calling doom and gloom. And they're not wrong. The way things were done is over at Twitter. So it's definitely going to be a shift in a lot of things we starting to see. I'm going to touch on that in a couple of seconds here. So from the outside, this looks like a giant cluster. And you know what? He just left that part out. But it's what's going on to surprise you. And that is a great number of businesses are run exactly like this. He's absolutely right. There's a reason layoffs happen every single year across the world. Whaley and Cullen, Elon is just being very vocal. So that's a quick breakdown of what's going on in the Twitter world right now. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot of people, as we've seen, over there making their voices heard about it. They complaining, they mad, they pissed off. One of the things that I saw, they cut that work from home option at Twitter because, see, in case those of you are not familiar with how that place works over there, that's one of the number one places in the country where people were working from home. And like, you know, they could come to the office, but it was optional. Okay, under the old management at Twitter, it was optional for you to come to work or not. When Elon took over, he was just like, okay, look, if you don't have a reason as far as like some type of handicap or something that proves you need to work from home, I need you in this office. So the minute that happened, it pissed him off because like the previous management, I forget the guy's name, after Jack Dorsey left, it was an Indian guy, Aragwal, something or other. But he was like, okay, work from home will be the standard here for life, okay? Now, Elon was like, not when I'm the boss, it's not. So a lot of them are pissed off about that. That's for one. And number two, here's the thing about like where that's situated over there. Those of you that don't know, it goes without saying that is a very, very, very good paying job over there. If you could land that over there in Silicon Valley working at Twitter, you got it made or had it made because Elon finna tighten some stuff up with the way it was run. And plus, as we all know, Elon Musk is a staunch conservative. Okay, he's pretty much right-wing leaning, even though he tries to hide it. I mean, nah, because he had a problem with the way Twitter was run, with all the liberal censorship, which, you know, I don't have a problem with him letting it all hang out as far as letting everybody say what they want to say, because for me, as a black person, I want to know where all my enemies stand. I don't want them silenced. I do not want them deplatformed. Let them be who they are. We need to see that. A lot of people are scared to death of people simply saying something. Nah, you need to know where your adversaries stand on a battlefield. And see, I'm going to tell you something why I don't really care about the people that's boo-hooing about the Twitter situation. When you look at most of the Twitter staff, like a lot of Silicon Valley and a lot of tech companies across America, they don't hire very many black people, especially not black Americans, okay? They hire black immigrants that come over here and get classified as black Americans due to their citizenship. Big difference, okay? So, like, you see like a tiny percentage of them because, see, this is where that minority word comes into play that Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about. Minorities could be East Indians, Asians, okay, it could be Hispanic people, white women, of course, you know, they get the double dip, all right? Anybody except for black folks, okay? And see, with the H1N1 visa program, that's how a lot of them flocked over here. That's why you see so many of them over there. So it's like, yeah, they going through it right now. There's a lot of people pissed off about a lot of things, but I welcome it. I welcome it. I want things to be this way because, see, for the longest time, you got to look at it this way. A lot of people will look at it as like if somebody says something offensive on a social media platform or they put something up you don't like, everybody want them deplatformed. And I'm here to tell you that I'm against that. Nope. Let them be on the platforms. Let them say what they need to say, because that gives you an opportunity to study your enemy as they really are. See, when they hide things, a lot of times they just going to go underground with it. See, it makes it a lot easier to keep track of these people as far as the ones that want to do harm to our community, because, you know, let's keep it a buck. The very intelligent white supremacists, they not online running their mouths. The weak link with them are the people that's online with them Twitter fingers and what have you. So, yeah, I want them on there. It makes it easier for us to see what their moves are so that we can better protect ourselves without relying on the damn government or the police. We know they don't protect black people. It's up to us to protect ourselves, and that's a very important part of gathering intel. So if you're one of the people that when you see somebody say something online, oh, they need to be deplatformed, now rethink that. Rethink that. That might not be a very wise strategy. So that's an update on what's been going on. I hope you all remember this, because if you've ever experienced layoffs or what have you, or you see a bunch of them going on, it's not because they can't afford to keep people. Whaling and culling is the reason why. So with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll see you all in future content.
There are a lot of misconceptions about Maroons. Typically in literature, whites will say that the Maroons were uncivilized, they were unorganized, they were lewd, they were barbaric. These were the people who lived in the bush.
There is no other group on the planet Earth that have taken on the devil the way we have, in his own house.
Some estimates say that there are about 50,000 Maroons that you can find per year throughout the Americas.
The Great Dismal Swamp was an area between that Virginia, North Carolina, the eastern border area. This was a popular area for a lot of not only runaways, but natives. A lot of the black natives hung out there. The Gullah Geechee were known in that area.
Because that's who we are. You can put us anywhere in the world. We are survivors.
If you are really tapped in with your environment and you become one with that ecosystem, right? You know what I'm saying? That ecosystem begins to work with you.
We were robbed of our definition of who we were, which is our nationality and our tribe. And we fell into the description of what we were from someone else's eyes.
Resistance is not just about not only violence and physically fighting back, but there has to be resistance literature, resistance language.
A whole 2 detachments of U.S. soldiers got mowed down by the Black Seminoles. They destroyed an entire U.S. military force. Out of 110 people, they killed 108. That's damn good shooting.
The Black Seminoles were using all types of guerrilla warfare tactics, and these warfare tactics are studied in military schools to this day.
They didn't like Muslim slaves. The same reason they didn't like Indian slaves, because they weren't afraid to die.
Once you realize you're not safe, your children and your families aren't safe, the people who you're bringing in the world are not going to be safe long after you, there becomes a need to stand up and survive at all costs.
We are the Maroons. We are today's Maroons. We are the force that's moving forward. We will never be stopped.